you're having a hard time shooting on 2K26, I have good news for you because that ends today. I'm gonna give you 15 tips and tricks that will make you a better shooter and make shooting much easier for you. Okay, first things first, if you want to become a good shooter, you have to know what a good and a bad shot is. Because if you're taking bad shots, you're probably gonna miss majority of your shots. And if you're taking good shots, a big majority is probably gonna go in. So, how do you know what is a good or a bad shot? Well, first off, put your shot feedback to all shots. I know some people like to put it on simple. Do not do that, because if you have it on simple, you can't see your coverage, and you have to use your coverage to help you learn what are good and bad shots. For example, if you shoot 3 wide open shots in a row, those are good shots. You can see that. If you shoot a red, a yellow, and then an open, you know the first 2 were bad shots. Okay, probably shouldn't shoot those shots anymore, but the third one was open. I can continue to shoot that shot. As simple as this seems, this is going to help you really become a better shooter. The next tip I got for you is where to find the best real accurate jump shot data along with all of the best jump shots in the game. And that would be NBA 2K Labs. They test out tons and tons of custom jump shots and upload them all to their website with all of their data. They test things like the green windows, the speeds, the make percentages, and everything else you would need to find the best jump shot for you. It's only a few dollars a month, and if you use code DIRK, you'll get 20% off. I'll leave the link in the description. I get all of my jump shots from them. I don't say all, but like 90% of my shots from them. So I highly recommend you guys check them out. All right, this one's gonna cause a lot of debates in the comments. Rhythm shooting versus button shooting. Let me ask you this, okay? If rhythm shooting isn't better than button shooting, then why is it banned in most Pro-Am leagues and in most wagers? Just a question. I'm going to explain why that most people think that tempo is better. I think it is better, and why you should be shooting with tempo instead of button. So when you shoot with button, you have to time your shot, right? Okay. When you rhythm shoot, you don't have to time your shot. You just have to get the tempo right. So in other words, you can mistime your shot and still make it if you green the tempo. Now, since there isn't a green window advantage with rhythm shooting this year, that seems to be fair and makes sense, right? Theoretically it does, but not actually. Here's why. The timing of your shot can slightly change based on different variables. A gather, a load up, a bobble catch, etc. So when you shoot with button, you have to account for all of the potential different timings. When you shoot with rhythm, you don't, because you don't have to actually time the shot. You just have to get the tempo down. But the thing is, that tempo doesn't change. The only time it changes is if you're low on stamina, and that goes for button shooting as well. So the reason why it's better is because the tempo is extremely consistent. And once you get the tempo of the shot down, it becomes extremely easy to shoot. With all that being said, rhythm shooting is better than button, but it's not drastically better. It's only a little better. So if you want to stick with button shooting, that's completely okay. But if you're having a hard time shooting with button right now, I recommend you try out rhythm shooting. The next tip goes along with tip number 1, and this is related to the contest system. So first off, the contest system, as we know this year, is not good at all. You got to be right on them, or you have to actually jump this year to get a contest. So with that in mind, right, we can take advantage of that. I take advantage of that. If I have like, I don't want to say a foot, but like a virtual foot to 2 of space, I'm shooting the ball, bro, especially if I'm taller than them. You guys know how it is with the 7.4s. Height this year is huge. If you're taller than them and you have space, shoot the ball, especially if you're a lot taller. But even if you're the same height, bro, most of these people in these clips are 6'8" like me. If I see that I have 1 to 2 feet of space, I am shooting the ball, because if they don't jump, it is an open for me. Why would I not take open shots? With all that being said, if you have that 1 to 2 feet of space, shoot the ball. How can you become a better shooter if you don't even shoot open shots? And if you shoot a few contested shots, that's okay, because now you're learning what is a good and a bad shot, and you're getting better. Becoming a better shooter is really just a process of trial and error and getting in the reps. Quick question, do you ever fry your defender, get wide open, and then shoot an accidental fade like this? This happens because you don't know how to set your feet or quick stop. If you want to be a better shooter, I recommend you learn how to do both of these. You don't want to be only fading from 3 unless you're just built like that, which a lot of guards actually do, but if you're not on that level, you got to learn how to do this. So first off, to set your feet is very easy. Once you hit your move and you are ready to shoot, just let go of everything, Wait like a quarter second, half second, whatever, and then shoot the ball. Now the quick stop is a little harder, but nothing crazy. You're going to hold the right trigger the whole time, hit your move, run, then let go of your left stick, and immediately after, flick up on your right stick and shoot. Look at it here in slow motion. I'm flicking up on the right stick right after I let go of the left stick. It's almost at the same time, but it's literally right after I start to let go of the left stick. The next tip is shooting with your visual cue. You want to only shoot with this. You do not want to just rely on muscle memory. The reason is because you might get a load up, a bobble, a gather, whatever. There is still different times where your shot timing can slightly change, and if you're just relying on your muscle memory, you're going to miss because the timing is different. So if you're looking at your shot and you're looking where you have to visually release the ball, you're not going to get screwed up when the timing of your shot changes. When you're lower on stamina, your shot is going to slow down. So if you're using the normal timing that you think is right and you're out of stamina, you're gonna miss your shot because your shot is slower. But if you're shooting with your visual cue, it doesn't matter if you have full stamina or you're out of stamina. You know where to release the ball visually, and this is going to help you make way more shots. All of the best players in the world shoot with their visual cue. It's the most consistent way to shoot across all game modes in every situation. If you want to find the visual cue of your shot, it's very simple. You're going to head into the My Court, set the difficulty to Hall of Fame. You're going to head to this thing right here. You're going to hit extra square to go online to add a little delay to the court. Then you're going to go onto the court, obviously, and shoot a bunch of shots. And every time you green a shot, pay attention to where your hands and the ball are when you release the button to shoot. That is your visual cue. The next tip I got for you guys is once you find a good jump shot, whether that's from me, another YouTuber, NBA 2K Labs, whatever, keep it and practice with it. Do not get frustrated and change it. This tip is to not change your jump shot all the time. You need to find a good one and practice it for like a week at least. Like, okay, maybe not a week, but like you need to shoot like 1,000. Okay, that's too much. Like 200, 300 shots, like a few days, like really try it out and see if you can master and learn the jump shot. And if you're still broken with it, then it's time to switch. But constantly changing is just very bad and you're going to screw up your timing. All right, next let's talk about where to use your max badge plus ones and twos. Now, a lot of people really like to overcomplicate 2K when at the end of the day, 2K is a very easy game to get good at quickly. I'm going to say this first. The best 2K players are typically the best shooters, right? So why would you not give yourself every single possible edge to make you become a better shooter? Even if you're already shooting 60 to 70%, why would you not try to get to 75 or even 80 if you want to be an elite shooter? With all that in mind, you're going to want to use your max badge plus ones and twos to get your shooting badges on Hall of Fame and Legend. Use literally all of them on that. That's what I have right now. As you can see, I have it on Set Shot, Shifty, and Deadeye. And I'm going to continue to make sure that my shooting badges are as high as they can be all year. Another one that is so basic but just works so well, and I actually used to have a really hard time with this, and that is shooting with confidence. The more confident you are, bro, the more shots you're gonna make. As cliche as that sounds, but it's just so true. If you're over there nervous and shaking when you're about to shoot a shot because you're so afraid you're going to miss, you're probably going to miss, bro, and you're gonna be a worse shooter. Last year when I played wagers at first, bro, I was like, please don't miss. No, it needs to be this is going in. I'm about to make this. I'm open, I'm shooting it. Green, it's going in. That little just mental adjustment will go a long way. On to the next tip. This may seem like common sense, but I see a lot of people still not doing it, and it is taking advantage of the midi fades. It's the easiest shot in the game. The mid-range has a higher green window than three-pointers. So one, that makes it easier right there. And two, if you're fading, it makes it harder to guard and contest. That's why right now, unfortunately, again, it's looking like that the midi fades are going to be the meta on the twos. And if you want to shoot them with rhythm, oh my goodness, bro, they are automatic. Moral of the story, take advantage of your midi fades. Another cliche tip, but this one has a little twist to it, okay? When you practice, if you want to practice your shooting, Practice in higher ranked difficulty modes. For example, Stage, Ranked Pro-Am, Ranked 3v3 Pro-Am, Proving Grounds. Those are the high difficulty modes, because if you don't know, it's harder to shoot in those modes than it is on Park or Rec. So if you can play Stage and play Ranked 3v3 Pro-Am and get into the reps shooting on a higher difficulty, when you play Park and Rec, shooting is going to be way easier because you're used to shooting on higher difficulty. That's just common sense. Practice makes perfect. Go put in the reps. Go play in the higher difficulty modes. You're probably going to lose a little more. If you do, that's okay. We are trying to get better. All right, next, I want you to try to get hot zones on most of the court. Hot zones give you a boost, right? So if you have them everywhere, every shot will get a boost. Now, the easiest way to get your hot zones is by playing My Career on rookie difficulty and consistently hitting shots from the areas you want until they turn into hot zones. After you get your hot zones, you're then going to want to get your lethal zones, and these are going to give you an even bigger boost. Now, how do you get your lethal zones? You're going to have to go here to the Art of Shooting, put it on rookie. Okay, this is important. This is going to make it a lot easier. Walk in, talk to Lethal Shooter, then pick this one right here. 3 zones for 3 weeks. Quick reminder that in order to get a lethal zone, it needs to be a hot zone first. Anyways, you're gonna pick your 3 spots. You have to beat them in each spot to get all 3 lethal zones. It's not hard if you're on rookie, but if you do lose a zone, immediately close app before the challenge ends, and this will allow you to try it again. And you can keep closing app until you pass. If you fail and don't close app, you'll have to wait 3 weeks to try again. The next tip is a basic one. It is to turn your shot meter off. You do that here in Customize HUD. And why do you turn your shot meter off, you might ask? Because it's going to give you a boost. Now, if you are just starting out on 2K, or you are a very bad shooter, no disrespect, start with your shot meter on just to understand how the game works and like how the speed of your shot works. But as soon as you understand the game, take it off. You're going to make a lot more shots, and I think it's actually harder to time your shot with it on because you have to look at a fast meter rather than just looking at your player and looking at the visual cue. All of the best players in the world have their shot meter off, and it's just the best way to go. Once you're able to turn it off, please. You're going to thank me later. And then the last tip I got for you is to put on Pro 2 Dribble Pull-Up. It's the best one in the game. If you want to become a better overall player, I recommend you check out that video right there. You're going to enjoy it. I hope this video helped you guys out. Drop a like if it did. Have a good day. Go out.